Wow, that was a bit of a laggy beginning, wasn't it? How about that? But the good news is, here we are. We're live. Sorry for the delay. I ended up being on a phone call, and and then I looked at the clock after the phone call and went, oh, ooh. So here I am. But I wanted to showcase this first of all, you guys. I just wanted you to see. Let me do this quick. Let me take that out of the way so you can see this fine new shirt. I don't know. What do you guys think? That looks pretty damn good. For the record, it maybe looks a little more pink. It's really not. It's like a salmon color. I don't know. I like it though. I think that white pops pretty good, but we got the shirts are live. Not only that, and I might change the design on this. This is just some samples that were sent to me from this store, and I like them. I think they look good. Love the color. Thank you, Maggie. But check out, is the shirt orange? I'm color, but maybe it looks more orange. It's kind of like a red. It's like an off red color, but to me, in low light, it almost looks pink. But now that I'm looking on the screen, maybe it does look a little more orange. But it's actually kind of a red. It might just be the hue in my camera settings and stuff. But I can tell it's salmon color. Depends on people's screen resolution. Yeah, good. Okay, so this is the new gear. This is the new shirt. Feels good, nice and comfortable. But check this out. Well, that's probably not the best. And I don't know that I like it because I think the print might be a little small. I don't know if you can see that. But it says Paranormal Portal on the dad hat. This is a dad hat. They also have trucker hats if you like the netting in it instead of the solid. But I don't know. At the risk of showing you my mess of a hair, I'll do this. Whoops, wrong way. I got to do it this way, don't I? But there you go. That's how stupid I look in baseball hats. But because my head is like a weird shape, you know. Some people can wear ball caps and they look good, but I wear ball caps and I look awkward and weird. Portal cat. My cat Anubis, but there is hats available as well. So I don't know. I should get one of these hats. That was an accident. I set the hat down on there. Okay, it's not that funny. That's how I look in hats. I got the laugh track for that. By accident, but it is kind of funny now that I think about it. I should get some hats like this done, but these are made by Kangol and they're expensive as hell. So probably not this version, but maybe a version like that if anybody wants to have I don't know what the hell you call these, berets or whatever, but I always wear them backwards anyway. But you named your cat Anubis? That's some cool. Yeah, especially since Anubis is actually a jackal. It's not a cat at all. But when I got the cat, his name was Gomez, and which is fine because his twin brother cat was named Fester, and it was like Fester and Gomez. But I never got Fester. So it was like, well, why would I have a cat named Gomez? I'm not Hispanic. And there's no, if you don't know the Fester, the Gomez makes less sense. So I was just screwing around like, hey, I'm going to call you Anubis. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, it's, but Anubis weighed the souls. He wasn't really like the Lord of the Underworld world person. He was more of a, measure your life at the end of your journey, wherever you went, depended on the deeds. So he's the gatekeeper, I guess. No, I'm not going to talk about the Kennedy papers. No, I mean, I think that's fascinating, but it's really not the purview of the Paranormal Portal. Hold on while I let Anubis out. Just 1 second. Here you go. Here you go. Be gone. There we go. All right. There it is. He's out. Should be happy now. So anyway, I just wanted to showcase that the gear is once again available. I'll show you the link on screen right here. And literally it's only this design right now. I haven't uploaded all the other designs. But here's the store. It is paranormalportal.dashery.com. paranormalportal.dashery.com. And Dashery is DASHERY and then .com. Now the nice thing about it is there's more opportunity here to pick colors. And where's the color? This is supposed to be how my shirt looks. It's close. I guess it is. That is pretty much what I'm wearing, but there's lots of different colors, which are kind of cool. It seems to pop out real nice on a lot of these. So there's lots of opportunity to customize the shirts, even yellow. You can have yellow. What are you, yellow? I sound like an old cowboy movie, but there's lots of different things, as well as there's tank tops, there's hoodies, there's a sticker, sexy looking sticker if I do say so. And I don't think I like that mug though. It's like Paranormal, and that's all you see. Maybe it looks good. I don't know. Let's click on the mug. That's new to me. I just want to see what. Oh, I see they just took a picture of a cup and made it look black here, and then put para and then old portal. I don't know if it wraps nice or not. Maybe it's okay, but maybe it'd be better to have a stacked logo there, just Paranormal Portal on each side rather than a wraparound. I don't know if that works so well. But anyway, those are some opportunities, options, if you will. I'm just saying it's available. I know several of you have bought shirts and Paranormal Portal gear in the past, so it'll go all the way up to 5XL. So you got that going for you if you happen to be a person of larger stature, or all the way to small and everything in between. So there's lots to choose from, and there's female fits as well. There you go. So it's all here. Now, the good news about this, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I know I owe some of you gear from past giveaways. I haven't forgotten. I got to go through my notes and compile everything, but I'll be getting those orders out as soon as I possibly can. But I wanted to announce that we will be beginning giveaways again on both the Discord server. We do one t-shirt, usually roughly per month when I'm on schedule. And we'll certainly do a YouTube giveaway for any members here on the channel. So That will be coming up in the near future as well. So just to let you know, you might want to be tuning in just so in case you remember, you have a chance of winning a shirt. So there you go. That's the new news as far as the portal gear goes. I was just excited that these came in. Got hats. Whoops, I'm not even on screen. Got hats, got shirts, and lots of other stuff. So if you're interested, Paranormal Portal Empire, any color of your shirt your heart desires. Sasquatch Chronicles, we only have shirts in black, and most of the time are not available. Yeah, well, but I'm just saying, I don't actually do any of this other than provide designs, and they handle all the legwork, which is nice for me. I don't think I'd want to have to deal with ordering individual shirts and printing them up and stuff. So this works out good, but it's just available. Found it. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Maggie. Wow. Maggie, I appreciate that. Maggie put the link in the chat. If any of you are interested, there it is. I just wanted to say some hellos here, but I got to rearrange my windows because I can't click on the Rumble chat. There we go. Now I can see everybody. Over in Rumble, we got Car Juice and Barbara Mora, Justin Goodearth. Justin Goodearth loves that. Okay, if you don't think that logo's too small, I don't know. It feels kind of small to me. But then again, I mean, you'd have to get pretty close up to say, what the hell does your hat say? Oh, what's Paranormal Portal? I can hear the dialogue already. It's like, what's on your hat? Oh, what is that? But anyway, Big D's over on Rumble as well. Thank you for coming in, all you guys. That's who's there. Big D was the first one in the door over on Rumble. Maggie was the first one over the door here on YouTube. I don't know if anybody's been watching from Facebook or X or Twitch, but hello to all of you guys. If you're over there, I don't get a listing of people watching from those platforms. So if you're there, please say hello. I'd love to see that you guys are out there. John Stevenson's over here in the YouTube chat. Chucky Danger, The Unknown, Rachel Gets It Right, Grateful Owl, Aussie Tiger. Aussie, I know I owe you a shirt, and I owe Justin Goodearth a shirt. I remember those offhand. But let's see, who else is here? Bill Simone, you'll take a shirt and a hat. God bless you, Bill. I appreciate it. And Bill, thanks for the books, brother. I got them. I finally made it down to my P.O. box, picked them up. That is wonderful. I just loved having them. So thank you for that, sir. That is awesome. Hook and Good Creations by Tina C is here. Good to see you. Of course, Maggie is here, as I said, and then Mr. Wes Germer himself. Sasquatch Chronicles in there, like the light blue shirt. Yeah, you should order one, Wes. I'm just saying. Brandy Copeland's in here. Let's see, who else? I kind of just throw names out. I should just pull up the list, but it gets to be kind of cumbersome. I got so much crap open on my computer. I'm looking for more names. Henry Dong. How you doing, Henry? Good to see you. Unless I just said your name. I'm sorry if I said it twice. Annie Manula is in here. Excellent to see you. I'm just looking for any new names that haven't chatted yet. Did I say Chucky? If not, hello, Chucky, again. Good to see you, man. But Krista's in here. Is Krista here? Blondes and Booze. Hello, Krista. Good to see you. Listening and driving. One hello to everybody. Oh, thank you, Krista. Good to have you out here. Thanks for listening. I hope you drive safe. Be careful. And I'm just scrolling through the list real quick. I was just doing the shirt stuff, so I didn't pay attention. Nathan Nate's in here. RU is in here, or Rue. I don't know how you pronounce that, RU or Rue, which you go by. But Michelle Wolfong is in here. Hello, Michelle. Great to see you. And I think that's most everybody. Deborah, which Deborah is here? Miss Deborah Varner or Deborah Neighbor? Deborah Neighbors is here. I don't know if Deb Varner's in here or not. Hello, Deb, if you are in here, or if you're just lurking, listening, that's cool too. And Hoggle Chambers. Oh, Hoggle, great to have you here. I saw that you were in the door. No, you were in the door very early too, so good to see you. She said, where's Mr. Brent? It's like, I'm here. So sorry I ran late today, just starting the show. Unfortunately, Amanda Rendall is here. Good to see you, Amanda. Thank you for coming in. Werewolf's here as well. Great to see you guys. Oh, JV Noseworthy's over on Facebook. Good to see you, Jen. Thanks for watching the Paranormal NL podcast. Little self-plug there. I can respect that. Hey, Dan Pruitt. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Pruitt in the chat is an old dear friend of mine. He is actually a co-investigator of mine. I haven't investigated with Dan for a long time, but he went over to Coloma and was part of the investigation over there in Montana of the ghost town in Coloma. And we had a wonderful time, Dan. It's wonderful to see you, brother. I've missed you. Can't wait to get out there again with you. Hopefully you and I and Charles can line something up in the near future. But we'll definitely be looking into that. I know Charles is looking. North Alabama Cryptid, Mr. and Mrs. NAC are in here. Good to see you guys. Amanda Rendell, great to see you. I think that's everybody now that's come in, unless somebody else has come in. But it's great to see you. Thank you, Jen, for letting me know that the Facebook feed is working. I'd love to hear from somebody over on X. If anybody's watching, just say hello, because then I see that it's up. I mean, you're welcome to chat, of course. You can see the chat on your screens wherever you're watching, and you're welcome to take part in it. If you're on Rumble, your chat does not update on the screen over here. I do apologize. Let me get the ghost radar back up. There we go. So we got a lot. Thank God it's Friday, Jen says. Yeah, amen. Every day is Friday for me. Was Dan in the video I dubbed Joe Biden over? Yes, that was Dan in the video, Wes. That was Dan. Dan and I were up there in the dead of night up on a mountaintop in Montana with no one for miles and miles and miles around. And let me tell you, the night gets pretty thick. Yeah, but that was Dan. Dan's awesome. In fact, I gotta get that video up for the members. That would be a good one. Oh, cool. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's Dan Pruitt, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful guy. Dear friend. So, all right. Love that place, Dan says. Yeah, I suppose we could go back up there sometime if you got time this summer. That would be fun. That was very creepy and fun at the same time. Let's see. We have to get to the news, don't we? I got some news pulled up. I apologize because I wasn't prepared for tonight's show as I meant to be. So I'm probably going to be pulling stuff up on the fly throughout the show here. I usually have everything pulled up in advance, but just time got away from me. And I apologize. So I had an opportunity to go, well, the granite on thermal at night, breathtaking. Yeah. Yeah. Remember we did get some weird anomalies on the thermal up there. I never did publish those. I should have. I think I still have them somewhere. Excuse me. Had a cough. So let's get to the news and find out just what the hell's going on in the world around us, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I can shut this down. No, I should have shut it, but there we go. All right. I made a video. Oh, yeah, the unknown. I forgot. I didn't get a chance to look at anything. I've been just slammed the last few days. So anyway, let's get to the news and find out just what the hell's going on here and see what you think. So, ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of Wes Germer, this transition. That's right. I'm just reading Wes's comments. I gotta see if I can find that. That would be funny. I'm gonna look actually for a second. That'd be a great way to lead into the news. And Dan's here, so I don't know if Dan's ever seen it or not. I thought I sent it to Dan, but maybe I didn't. God damn, where would I find that? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it quick, because that would be a funny video. I could put it on and let you guys check that out. In case you hadn't seen it, it's a parody Wes made of Dan and I investigating up on the mountaintop in Coloma. It was really, really well done, but I don't remember where I put it. Let me just see if I can find it quick. I think it would have to put it in investigations. Damn it. Documentaries, maybe? Where did I do with it? Where am I? There I am. Oh, there we go. There's investigations. This doesn't look right, though. I don't know. I've got so many freaking folders and things, folks. I apologize. And everything's running slow as hell. So, there's Coloma. Let's see. I know I have the Coloma files here, but I don't know if I got the one from Wes. No, I don't think I do. Damn. Okay. Well, I don't have it handy. I'm going to have to pull that up. That's too bad because that was so funny. Damn, I wish I had that handy. I got to come up with a better organizational efforts here, folks. I've got things all over the place, and I'm sorry for the lag in case that's coming up. Yeah, I don't have it. Sorry about that. I don't want to waste more time digging it up right now. Hi, Ruthie. It's screwy in California, too. The internet is? Well, I hope it's okay. No need to apologize. Karen says thanks. Unless you weren't talking to me. But anyway. But let's get to the news and find out just what the hell's going on. Again, I apologize for any lag, folks. My computer is just ancient and it's really struggling. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to sell a kidney and upgrade sometime soon. Very soon, as a matter of fact. Is my plan. Very soon upgrading, but I'll have to see which organ I got an extra of and see what they're going for. So anyway, here's the news. This is the Paranormal Portal News Desk. As always, I'm your anchor, Brent Thomas. We're going to dive into the news. Sometimes this is actually, paranormal, and sometimes it's just weird or interesting or, entertaining to some degree. Remember, throughout the course of the show, we utilize a lot of different sites. Support these sites. Please give them your love. All of these sites are amazing that I'm going to use throughout the course of the show, so definitely support them. Something went wrong. Try reloading the page. No, just work, damn it. Oh, God, if I have more computer problems, I'm going to probably poop myself. All right, here we go. This is the first one. This first site is called unexplained-mysteries.com, ladies and gentlemen. It's one that sell half your liver. It'll grow back. I don't know what half a liver is going for, Rachel, but that might be an idea. I know I got 2 time they were tested, so I got that going for me. Maybe that one of those would work. But let's get to the first news article. Here we go. This one is from the Nature and Environment files of unexplained-mysteries.com. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. Well, that's going to be a pain in the ass. I got to do this the old-fashioned way. Here we go. There it is. Internet is divided over what animal this image from Florida shows. Looks like a house cat. I don't know. This is the problem with things like this, folks. It's like, okay, you have nothing for scales, but this looks like a house cat. This looks like my cat Anubis walking around at night in the house. Get that eye reflection cooking. I think it looks like a house cat. I don't know how big these weed things are back here, but chances are it's, normal size weeds, maybe overgrown grass or whatever. And this looks like a house cat. I don't, if somebody's trying to claim this is a panther or something, I think they're hitting the bong a little hard because there's nothing huge and muscular looking about this animal. So anyway, let's see what it says. I'm judging it based on the fact that I've seen about a gajillion of these that are like, oh, look at this amazing, large cat in Illinois. And it turns out to be a house cat in Wisconsin. So many of those have come out and they just get old. I don't think it's even bigger than a normal size house cat. Hell, it might even be a small house cat. But anyway, let's see what the article says. A mystery animal captured on trail cam in Southwest Florida has been described as a little bit wrong and a little bit right. The image, which shows some sort of feline, was posted up on Facebook by the South Florida Wildlands Association on March 14th in an effort to figure out exactly what the animal could be. A friend sent this photo over for an ID. The post reads, house cat. I'm good with house cat. Captured on a trail cam on public lands in Southwest Florida. Okay, you don't even know that that's true. I mean, you don't know. It's a friend sent this over for an ID. So this narrative is already in question. Looks a little bit wrong and a little bit right for a number of different species. Anyone want to venture a guess? We have a strong hunch, but would like to see what comes in. The image quickly generated some heated debate, with users unable to decide if the animal is a feral domestic cat, a bobcat, or a juvenile panther. Feral cat was exactly what we thought, the association wrote. But the public lands where this cam was shot was taken, also hosts many bobcats as well as panthers. Would guess life expectancy for a domestic cat living in the wild here would be very short. In years of hiking southwest Florida, we have never encountered domestic cats in the state, and federal lands nor tracks noticeably smaller than panthers or bobcats, but doesn't mean they're not out there. What do you think the image shows? A cat, house cat? It's probably not even from Florida. I mean, that could be anywhere. It's, when you got a friend sent this over for an ID, that means it could be in Europe for all we know. I mean, it just means nothing. So anyway, I've seen a gajillion of those through the years. I don't buy 99.9% of them as being anything. Once in a while you see one that's really interesting, but even then, you got to take all that stuff with a, grain of salt so much. Hey, Jake, good to see you, brother. I like that you posted a video. I was looking at it. Jake is tapping for some syrup, maple syrup over there in New York. Up in New York. Not the city, though. So anyway, there you go. First article. See if the button works. Nope, that one's not going to work either. Oh, you piece of crap. Oh, I tell you what, that's just not enough to make me happy at all. I guess this is the one. There we go. I'm going to be doing a lot of, it's probably anxious. It's got ridgeback poof tail, so the profile is scarier, but that's a house cat. Amen, Dan. Amen, brother. All right, so that's the first article, but I got more. There's always more here on the portal. This one looks kind of cool. Now, this isn't paranormal, but I'm here to tell you, I know that's the whole idea of having home robots and stuff is always like, oh, let's, make them look like people, like iRobot. And of course, the Tesla robot is very humanoid shaped. It doesn't look like a person, but it looks like kind of a freaky thing. I think having something man-sized walking around my house is a little creepy. However, I've always said, give me an R2-D2 that actually does something. Give me some of those Star Wars droids. That would be cool. Well, it turns out NVIDIA might have just that. So I saw this and went, oh, we're definitely checking out this article, because if it's as cool as it looks, I'm in. I could maybe sell my other kidney. We'll see, though. Here we go. From Science and Technology, NVIDIA unveils real-life AI-powered Star Wars droid called Blue. Aw, isn't that cool? That would be excellent. I'd be just fine if it just had, like, the R2-D2 wheels and stuff cooking, but that's still pretty cool. The technology firm's latest creation is an intelligent robot that not only is technically impressive, but it's cute too. Revealed by NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang during the GTC 2025 keynote this week, the robot, which looks like a cross between and a droid from Star Wars, waddled onto the stage to much applause as part of a demonstration on how AI and robotics will soon change the world. Named Blue, the cute robot makes a series of sounds reminiscent of the beeps and bloops typically made by the R2-D2 and other Star Wars droids, and can interact with humans via its head movements. It uses a new physics engine known as Newton, which is due for an open source release later this year. Can you believe you're looking at a complete real-time simulation, said Huang. This is how we're going to train robots in the future. Blue has 2 NVIDIA computers inside. The demonstration was certainly impressive, revealing that it is seemingly already possible to build highly advanced AI-powered robots that can walk around and communicate with humans. In practical terms, it's not clear what Blue can do in any useful sense, although there are reports suggesting that Disney is very interested in using the technology at its theme parks. Of course they are. Once it goes open source, the physics engine used by the robot will be available to everyone, making it possible for other companies and even individuals to build their own robotic creations. It seems that robotics, like AI, has advanced in leaps and bounds over the last few years. It probably won't be much longer until robots become commonplace in homes across the world. I don't know about you guys, but I want to watch this. This is coming from CNA. YouTube channel. So let's check it out. I don't know what this thing looks like when it's doing its thing, but I'm excited to see it. So since this is the news, let's see. Let's see what it does. Here we go. Don't be music. Don't be music.
And so today we're announcing something really, really special. It is a partnership of three companies.
Okay, waiting for the actual computer to catch up with a freaking video. God, I love my computer. Not really. Not really.
Companies, DeepMind, Disney Research, and NVIDIA, and we call it Newton. Let's take a look.
Okay, I don't want to tune in for a PowerPoint here, but I want to see when the thing actually comes up. Here we go. Music. Don't do it. Don't do the music. Here we go. I kind of want to hear it without all the dumb music and stuff, though.
Tell me that wasn't amazing. Hey,
this guy's a little excited about the fact the thing just came up on an elevator. It's like, we've had those for a while, buddy.
How are you doing? How do you like your new physics engine? You like it, huh? Yeah, I bet. I know. Tactile feedback, rigid body, soft body simulation, super real time. Can you imagine just now what you were looking at is complete real-time simulation? This is how we're going to train robots in the future.
Are you kidding me? Come on, I would definitely have something like that. Especially if it had like a beer arm that would go to the fridge and bring a beer every once in a while. I don't really drink that much, but I just, come on, tell me that wouldn't be cool. That would be cool. No, we're not going to watch the whole video, but hey, there you go. The future is here. It's a duck robot named Duckman. I call you Ducky. Ruthie. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's cute. I think it's pretty adorable. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of talking about what it can do or whatever, but that's pretty cool. That's what I think robots should look like. Make them look like that. Don't make them look like other people. Let's have droids. I'm good with that. So, yeah, the whole AI thing, don't worry. It only updates the NSA every, bi-weekly or something. I'm just kidding. I don't know if there's any, there's probably going to be some creepy aspects to it, but, hell, your cell phone's probably listening to you all the time anyway. So you're not really getting away with much, but there you have it. That's the next article. I think that's kind of cool. I like it. I'd be into it. Let's get to the next article, and that might do it for the news. Let's just see what the hell's going on. Sorry, I'm a technophobe through and through, Maggie says. Well, here you go. There's the next one, and this one is that one's kind of odd. It's not what. Let me see what the last one here is. When it finally oh, here we go. This one was kind of cool. This is kind of comes from the Bizarre files. It's not really. It's from the Nature and Environment files over on unexplained-mysteries.com, but it's interesting. I don't know what the backstory here is, but we're going to find out together, because here we go. It just won't work, will it? Damn it. I wish these buttons worked. I wish anything worked as well as it's supposed to. Constantine has seen, the university wrote, the shark, that says the sharktopus, in the Hauraki Gulf was a mysterious find. Octopus are mostly on the seabed, while short-fin mako sharks don't favor the deep. The encounter is a reminder of the wonders of the ocean. Researchers pointed out the shark is capable of traveling at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour, meaning that the octopus might have needed to hold on for dear life. Exactly how these two animals came to interact in this way remains a complete mystery. You can check out the clip for yourself below. Yeah, it turns out octopus are probably getting smarter, and they're just going to become lords of the ocean pretty quick. Something like that, because I guess they're really, really, really intelligent animals. I don't know, how intelligent, but I know that they can solve puzzles and stuff. So they do have like problem-solving intelligence, which is pretty bizarre. You guys are all lagging. Damn it, I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about it, folks, but the hardware's just lagging. It's just terrible. Terrible. You can check it out. It might just be YouTube specific, but it might be other platforms as well. I don't know if that lag is happening on like Facebook Live and X and everything else, but it's probably going to be hurting my numbers just because, it all sucks. So here you go. There you go. That's new. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. So hopefully you haven't either. I guess it's going to wrap up the news. We'll get back to the rest. It's YouTube's fault. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Rachel says, a shark with a freaking octopus on its head. Next, lasers. Get off the laser, mini-me. There you go. Quit humping the laser. All right, that's all we got time for tonight. So let's see if this button's going to work. Cross your fingers. Nope, sure as hell isn't. Here we go. Let's go this way then. All right, folks, that was the news. Hopefully you found that wildly interesting, or at least mildly interesting. Let's see if I can get anything working here. God bless it. You piece of craps. Pieces of craps, I tell you. There we go. There I am. All right. I don't know. Hey, I like Ike. You okay? What's wrong with I like Ike? I like Ike says passed out in the living room. I hope that's a good kind of passed out and not a bad kind. I hope you're okay, whatever the case is. Brent, it's YouTube. I text you the vid. Oh, you did? Oh, cool. Yeah, but if it's on text, I can't get it. Unless I can. Oh, there it is. Let me see if I can do this. If I can get it, is it from your YouTube? Is it hosted on YouTube? Let me see. I'll just look at this quick. Yeah, it's on your YouTube, isn't it? Okay. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, wait, hold on. All right, let me see if I can get it. Can you? Is it posted live on your YouTube? Like I can just go to YouTube and get it, or is it private? Let me see. YouTube.com/Sasquatch Chronicles, I imagine. See if that's right. What playlist would that be in? Oh God, I'm so disgusted. There we go. That was the right URL at least. Must be under videos, right? Let's see if I can find it quick. Yeah, there's the Paranormal Portal new sponsor. I found that one. That's awesome. You guys might not have seen that one either. Wes is always doing these hilarious videos. Gotta love the man. I'm just looking for when was that? Yeah, everything's so damn slow, so I apologize, folks. It's not there. It's not there. I think it has my show as the splash screen. Was it 3 years ago? Was it more? If you could send it to me through, send me a link to it, that would help. If it's on my phone, I can't do anything with it because everything is on my computer for the show, and unless there's a way I could copy that link somehow, but I don't think I'm seeing it. Damn, it can't be that long ago, can it? I'm just looking again. I might have missed it. Sorry, folks, but I think it's so funny. It would be great to share with you, especially with Dan here. Since Dan is here, I'd really like him to see it in case he hasn't. But I'm scrolling back up. I don't think it could be that far ago, could it? Yeah, I don't know. Damn. Yeah, I'm just trying to go through your playlist or your videos, and I'm not quite seeing it. Damn it. I wanted to be done there. Let's see. Oh, there he goes. He did send it to me. Good. All right. Let's see if we can get this. All right. Let's do this. Boom. All right. Perfect. Let me make sure to stop it before it actually starts. And then I'll put it on the big screen and we can all watch it together. As soon as it freaking loads. Everything's slow in the portal. Okay. Let me do this. All right. Sorry for any lag and delay you're getting, but I am asking a lot of my computer right now. But it's because I love you guys. And I love to share a good laugh with you as well. Okay. I think this will be good. It's only 1:33 long. So we're going to get to this now. Freaking hell. My buttons are all dead. I got to see if I can get this to wake up again. Hold on a sec, folks. Maybe it'll wake up and work. Sometimes it does. Nope, doesn't look like it's gonna. None of the buttons even have descriptions right now. God damn. I'm so tired of bad technology. And unfortunately, that's what I own right now is bad technology. It did good for a lot of years, but let me try to do this. Pull up the screen 3. Here we go. Full screen. Here we go, folks. This is Wes taking the highlights from Dan Pruitt and I when we were investigating Coloma in Montana. It's a ghost town. So turns out we had some good EVPs. Check it out. So we're now at the Coloma ghost town proper, Coloma rather, that we were at last night as well, that we streamed on, and we're trying the portal here.
Who's here?
Your mother. Look here, Jack. Why do you look scared?
I heard scared. I heard that too. Come on. Why'd you say that?
Because that's how I roll. I really love your peaches. Want to shake your tree.
Wow. Should that even be possible?
No.
That was cool.
Should not be music on these banks. Yeah, look, it's dropping back down.
There you go, folks. That is the artistry of Mr. Wes Germer and his continued ability to make it hilarious. I love it, brother. Thanks. And Dan, I hope you're still out there. I hope you were here for that. Oh, Dan is here. Yeah, good. All right. There it is, folks. There it is. Now you've seen it if you haven't seen it. And that is a video that I've done. I've kind of had it available to a limited degree. I think the channel members have actually seen that. I think I played that entire investigation video for them over 2 years, actually, because we ended up going back the next year and Dan couldn't make that time. But yeah, but that was awesome. Very cool. Yeah. Thanks, Wes. I can't believe it. Oh, that's hilarious. So there you go. Now we're going to get into something different. I'm not even exactly sure what, because again, I've got stuff pulled up all over and everything's kind of in disarray here in the portal tonight. It's just been one of those nights. Okay, so this was round number 5, Haunted Theater. I just want to see what the name of this one is. This is an article that we've been going through, and again, it's kind of like the last one with the night terrors, sleep paralysis stories we're going through. We break them down and go through them over a series of nights, just because I don't want to grind them out, all in one night. We try to keep things popping along as quickly as we can here on the show and do something for everybody. But this is one that we've been working our way through. This is from ranker.com. God, I'm so sick of this computer. Ugh. It's so frustrating. But I'm just venting. So forgive me. But I remember you, Dan Brewitt. Yeah, Justin Good Earth. Did you meet Dan? I don't think Dan was there the time that you were there. Because you were there year number 2. I think Dan was only there the first year with me before we had the listener get together up there. But anyway, this is an article from ranker.com, and this list is real ghost stories. It's written by Christopher Schultz. It was last updated October 8th, 2019. But again, these are pretty much evergreen stories. And I think we're on number 5. No, we did read number 5. Yeah. So I don't know though. Was this one that I'd read before and I kind of stopped? I'm trying to remember, but we're going to go into it again because that's how I roll. I'm oftentimes rereading things I don't mean to, but I end up doing it anyway because that's how I roll. But anyway, this one is called number 6 on the list, My First College Apartment. It says, my first apartment during college was haunted. I had a really long hallway that led from my room to the front door, and at night I would often hear footsteps echoing in the hall when my roommate wasn't home. My dog would hear it too and just start barking and looking out into the hall as if he saw someone there. One night while I was studying, I noticed a sign I had hanging on my doorknob start swinging back and forth. No windows were open, the AC wasn't on, and there wasn't any reason for it to be moving. I said, stop, and it promptly stopped swinging. A few months later, I found out from the landlord that a few years prior, a tenant had actually unalived himself in the basement. Maybe it was him. Maybe. That's creepy. This one was writing on the mirror. I just don't want to read the whole thing. Well, we're going to keep going anyway. Writing in the mirror, I think we did read that one, though. I think I actually read the one I just read, too. This one's ghostly drumming. Yeah, we read this one, too, though. Maybe I did this whole thing. Sorry, I'm just a little verklempt tonight here on the show. Well, let's reread it anyway. We're going to read Uncle Joe, because it kind of reminds me of the EVPs anyway. This is number 9. My brother Joel was killed in an ATV accident over 4 years ago. My daughter has just turned 3, and she kept waking up in the middle of the night and coming into my room. When I would take her back to bed and ask her why she was getting up, she would reply, "The guy in my room." And she would always point to the corner that her dresser was in and swore there was a guy in her room. It wasn't very long after that she was always talking about Uncle Joe. She's never met him. Really weird. I don't know. I'm just not sure about this one either. Did I do this one? How about Halloween Nightmare? We'll just read this one. When I was about 12 years old, I had a dream shortly before Halloween. In the dream, I was out trick-or-treating on Halloween night, and I was in this overgrown woodsy area in my neighborhood, running away from a house a couple of blocks away from where I lived. I realized that I was running from the ghost of a woman when I saw her come flying towards me. Well, I woke up in a cold sweat. And that December, I found out that the house that I'd been running from in the dream belonged to an older woman. She lived alone and didn't have any family in the area. And a friend of my mother's was delivering Christmas cookies and found her dead in the house. They estimated that she'd been there since about August. I don't actually believe in ghosts, but it was very strange. Yeah, maybe really unhappy about being alone in a house since August. I just wanted to look at these because that one sounds really, really familiar, like it was not that long ago that I read it, but I don't think I did this whole article. Unless I did this whole article. I don't mind. My memory doesn't remember anything anyway. If you read something twice, it's because you don't want to assume you caught everything the first time. It's good quality. Well, that's the story of my life. That might be this title of my biography, Dan. I just want to make sure, though, because If it's repeating stuff, then I feel bad. Unfortunately, I can't just pop back and forth real easy, but I can do this. I just want to look, though, because that is not what you're tuning in to hear the same stories over and over. But I at least try to do it. I try to give you a little bit of variety here. Yeah, none of those. Maybe we'll read this one. This one's a new one. I don't know. Those other ones were sounding really similar. So I think I read them already recently. So we're going to jump to this one. I just pulled this one up on the fly. It looks really creepy. I mean, it's all paranormal. It's just creepy enough. But this is from thoughtcatalog.com, another great site. I hope you guys will visit it. Check out their lists and stuff, because they all have great lists. I just love going through these. Maggie says, memory? Not sure I have one of those. Can't remember. Yeah, I don't think mine's really good. Lately especially. But this is 49 deeply creepy tales of the paranormal to read if you don't want to sleep tonight. You guys don't mind, do you? You don't want to sleep. There's plenty of that for later on when when you're dead, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe not, as it turns out. This is a Thought Catalog article. Let me put it up on screen so you guys can see it. 49 deeply creepy tales of the paranormal to read if you don't want to sleep tonight. And this was written by Eric Redding. It was updated 2 years ago, September 27th, 2022. How's that for a first image? Looks like my ex. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Hope my ex isn't listening. This one's called The Baby. So let's check it out. My mom told me this story the other day, and it freaked me the heck out. When my oldest sister was little, like 3, she asked my mom, who was then pregnant, she asked my then pregnant aunt, rather, to pick her up and hold her. My mom said she was like, she can't pick you up, honey. She has a baby in her tummy. And then my little sister was like, oh, that baby is dead. My mom freaked out, but my aunt and grandma were fine and just telling my mom it was all good. She was just a toddler and didn't know what she was saying. Well, lo and behold, my aunt goes to the doctor the next day for a routine pregnancy checkup, and the baby was dead. It gives me the willies just thinking about it. Oh my God. Oh, that's so creepy. The little kid knew. It's like, oh no, that's fine. My baby's not even alive. I think that's horrifying. Yikes. Hey, Bogart, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'm sorry if I missed anyone else. Wizard Moon's in here too. Good to see you. I can't see Rumble. I've been popping so much between scenes. I'm sorry over on Rumble. If anything's been going on, I got your chat up now, though. There we go. So, yeah, that's creepy. How about number 2, the missing shotgun? That doesn't sound creepy at all. My father passed away last year, and one item he always said he wanted me to have was a shotgun that originally belonged to his grandfather. Well, for years he had this shotgun stashed in the attic, and after he passed, I'd gone to the attic to look for it, only to find that it wasn't there. Well, a few months later, I had a dream in which I was talking to him, and I asked him where he put the shotgun. Well, he told me it was in the closet of a spare bedroom. I called my mom and had her check, and sure enough, that's exactly where it was. Now, it's completely possible that my father had told me that when he was alive, but the dream was a little more than a memory, but I certainly don't recall that being the case. That's really cool, though. I mean, you're looking for this keepsake, and sure enough, the loved one came and said, oh, well, it's over here, and then it's over there. I mean, could it be odds, just chance? Maybe, but it sounds like it was a pretty direct message. Very cool. All right, number 3, the flying key. When I was 15, my mom and I were standing in the kitchen talking, and there was a rack on the wall holding keys about 8 feet away. Well, a key from the rack flew across the room and hit the floor near our feet. And this is the only event in my life for which I have no explanation. I don't know what the key went to. It was an old heavy key, and the house was built in the 1880s, so it could have been original to the actual house. Yeah, but still, keys don't normally fly on their own, unless, you're Harry Potter, Harry Potter and you ride a broom, but no, not normally. All right, number 4, camping in Canada. Scariest moment of my life happened when my friend and I were camping in eastern Canada as teenagers. We decided to sleep in this abandoned camper that we found deep in a large forest that was near our town. Well, it had been there so long that small trees had grown around it. We stumbled across it when we were exploring a few months back and thought it would just be cool and brave to sleep there for a night. So one weekend, we did it. We arrived after dark because we'd gotten lost trying to find the camper. We had really low power flashlights, so it made it even more difficult. And once we finally found it, we opened the rusty door and stepped in. The sounds inside the camper were shrill and echoey, and there were typical camper things strewn about: cups, empty cans, swollen pulp fiction novels. And already tired, we just holed up in one of the end of the camper where the bed area had originally been before the cushions had rotted away to almost nothing. A long hallway stretched the length of the camper so we could basically see from end to end. It was a miserable night. There were several rats living in there. I saw them staring at us from a chewed out part of the ceiling. When the wind blew outside, the camper would shriek and groan. We even thought we heard a bear outside too, just walking around, and still, we feigned bravery and acted like we were having a good time, but we were on edge. At some point, I woke up from an uncomfortable sleep, and I sat up to adjust myself when I noticed some movement out of the corner of my eye. At the other end of the camper, there was a small window, and as I looked at it, I saw a man's silhouette. He was clearly staring straight at me from outside. Well, at first I thought maybe it was a weird shape of a tree or something, but when I moved a bit to get a better look, the person clearly reacted and then froze. My heart was pumping, and I woke up my friend, immediately saying, "Someone's here," over and over in a whisper, not taking my eyes off his profile. Well, he woke up immediately, and I nodded towards the window. He saw him too. We whispered frantically about who could it be and why was he just staring at us for the next 10 minutes. No joke, we stared him down. The longer we stared at him, the more frightened we got. And occasionally he would move, but always keeping his eyes locked on us. And eventually I shouted at him, "Hey!" No reaction. My friend was braver than me and decided to shine the flashlight at him, and as soon as he did, we realized our horrible mistake. It wasn't a window on the other side of the camper. It was a mirror. We'd been staring ourselves down all right from the start. Completely idiotic. Still, it was the most fearful, relieving, and funny moment of my life that I'll never forget. Closest to the paranormal I've ever been. A crackling Jay. Yeah, that looks like a kind of a scammy thing there. If you're over on Twitch, don't click that if that's a link. I'm not sure what that is. So anyway, the joy of Twitch. So yeah, I mean, could you imagine waking up and you see someone looking at you from the other end? Except it's a mirror. You're looking at yourself. Oh, horrible. Number 5, the figure in the hallway. I saw a shadow person once. I didn't know that's what it was called until much later. I was living in a house in Laguna Beach that had been there since the 1920s. In its history, it had been a speakeasy, a brothel, and a house for smuggling illegal immigrants. One day, my new wife and I were having an argument. I can't even recall what it was about. She walked down the block to get a cup of coffee and cool off, and I was alone in the house. The way the place was built was incredibly haphazard. There was a bedroom and a living room on one side, then a bathroom with two entrances. On the other side of the bathroom was a hallway that had windows on one side and two bedrooms on the other. From my bedroom, I could look across the hall into the bathroom, and then through the bathroom and down the other hall. I was standing at my dresser, and I just noticed movement out of the corner of my eye, and I looked down there. There was, honest to God, this gives me goosebumps just typing it 17 years later, a black figure. It was maybe 3 feet tall, and it was only vaguely humanoid. It looked like black scribbles, like someone had scribbled a human shape, but the scribbles moved, like electricity arcing. And that's really the best way to describe it. There was no sound that I could remember, and I distinctly remember when I saw it, I wasn't afraid. Just like, what the hell? And then it noticed me looking at it. I can't say it turned around, it just focused on me, I guess. And then I was scared. I didn't move, didn't scream, nothing. I was just frozen because it just freaking came at me. It rushed down the hall towards me. I have no idea what it intended, but as soon as it entered the bathroom, the door closest to me just slammed shut on it. Then I screamed. I yelled for my wife. She wasn't home, but I went the hell outside into the daylight and didn't go back in until she got home about 10 minutes later. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe I saw something supernatural, but I know I saw something. I just don't know what it was. Again, that's one of those stories. I don't believe in ghosts, but this one time. Hey, SoCal, good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate your love. Appreciate your love and support. So, but how do you get to, I don't believe in ghosts, but this one time I saw this incredible event that I can't explain. It defies all explanation and understanding, but I don't believe in ghosts. It's like, how do you get there? Greetings from Colorado. Hello, Gerald. Gerald Richardson popping in. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Greetings to you. But yeah, that's a fantastic story. Number 6. I mean, this is why I love these kind of articles, these compilations that, again, they're generally Reddit scrapes of some kind. Like they go through comments on Reddit and they farm these comments, but still, these stories are represented as true. Are they really? Well, that's kind of up to you to consider, but maybe they are. But this number 6, just outside the door, it's even just a creepy title. Just outside the door, there's something there. I was trying to sleep in my room back when I was younger and lived with my folks. I must have been about maybe 17 or 18 years old. Well, I opened my eyes while rolling over to get comfortable, and I see a black figure just outside my door, who I thought was my stepfather in the dark, with his hands up to his chest, making scary finger motions at me like you might do sarcastically after a scary story. So something like this, I guess. Or a witch might do when casting a spell, just moving fingers wildly in my direction. I should note that this figure had no defined shape. It just, here it is again. It looked just like squiggles that moved in a vague shape, and I chalked it up to lack of light and my stepfather. That's 2 stories in a row that look like squiggles. That's interesting. Well, I look over and say, what the hell are you doing? Thinking it was a really stupid, creepy thing to do at night. Well, in that moment, it vanished. Just gone. It was at that moment my heart sank. I became petrified with fear. One of the few moments I was scared out of my mind and couldn't even comprehend what I just saw. I mean, it's creepy if it's someone that lives with you doing that. It's like, okay, what are you doing? But then to find out it was absolutely something else. Oh, hell no. Hell no. All right, number 7, a presence all through the house. I was probably 11 or 12 and never really had any belief in the supernatural, aliens, etc. Around roughly 5 a.m., I was sleeping on my bottom bunk at the end of our hallway when a shadow figure about the height of my dad was standing in the doorway. Again, doorways. Shadowy figures in the doorway. What is this tonight? Just not doing anything, just standing. I could hear my grandmother, who watched us at the time, in the basement, and I could vaguely remember my dad leaving about an hour earlier. Well, I closed my eyes twice, opened them, and just stared with a squint so it looked like I was sleeping. Eventually, I was so scared I just closed my eyes and secretly hoped it was all just some weird dream. I couldn't sleep, but soon after I heard the dresser drawers slamming very loud in our spare bedroom. All of a sudden, my grandma runs upstairs and tells me to quit making so much noise. I tell her what's up, and she opens the spare bedroom door, and there's nothing there. No possible way to escape either. A second-story window with the screen still intact. Yikes. Huh? That's not creepy at all, right? Look, you gotta wonder, though, what the hell are they thinking? I mean, what are they doing? Just standing there looking at people and then just being, after, just to slam drawers, just to raise, to cause problems, to raise anxiety. It's like, what are you doing? Well, it's obviously trying to make you afraid, I guess. Very creepy, though. But it sounds like it's kind of a one-off. These one-off stories are the strangest ones to me because there's not really history attached to it. There's not a history before it or any continuation after. It's just like this one time this thing happened. It's like, man. I mean, if you live in a house that has activity, you just kind of come to maybe accept it to some degree or just understand that it's part of your experience living there. But when it's just these one-offs, that's very, very weird. All right, number 8. It was like it was made of static. Another one. Staticky, squiggly. I don't know if it's shadowy, but we'll find out. I was laying in my bed, the room door in front of me wide open, and to the left, I could see the room where the front door was. There was an antique cabinet that my dad had that illuminated a white glow. I started to freak out for no reason and just started sweating. I, for some reason, knew something was about to happen and I was about to witness something. About 5 minutes later, laying in hot sweat, I freaking saw it. There was a door in the back of the room with the front door, and that was storage. A black outlined humanoid figure walks out, mildly static looking. It takes a few steps towards the front door and then stops. Does a military-like turn facing me. And at this point, I'm freaking the hell out, eyes wide open. It walks into my room and stops right beside my bed. Does one more military turn facing me. And at that point, I figured, what do I have to lose? Well, I noped the hell out and ran through the thing, ran upstairs to my parents' bedroom, and knocked furiously at the door, waiting to let me in. Eyes focused on the stairs, making sure it wasn't trying to follow me. Nothing. I slept with my parents for the next 2 nights. Story number 2. A short time after the shadow people encounter, I began to settle down and my thoughts were no longer fearful. I also believe this was during the time that I put the dream catcher that my mom got me at the time. I guess she put it up in the window. Okay. Let me just say, Dreamcatcher really did the job for years. Maybe because I truly believed in it, and my mind worked in my favor. Anyway, I woke up one morning to Mom yelling down the stairs for me to get up. It was a school day. I had a shower, came back to my room, and sat on my bed, sluggishly slipping my uniform on. And this is where it hits the fan. As I was pulling up my socks, I noticed a flash outside my door, more toward the room with the front door. Not the bright camera type flash, but more like an invisible person walking past super fast past my door. For those of you that played Halo, it looked like someone walking around with the invisibility cloak, but real fast past my door. You can still see them, but not entirely. Well, I saw this from the corner of my eye and began to freak out. I went upstairs to eat breakfast, and I remember how scared I was. I sat there staring down at the table as I ate my cereal. My mom asked what was up, and I looked up at her with a straight face and said something along the lines of, I saw a flash by the door downstairs. Something walked past my door. I said this calmly and with a straight face, and now that I look back on this, I must have looked like the classic creepy kid. My mom just replied, "It's all in your head." I went back to eating, and as she went in the laundry room behind the kitchen, and that's when it happened again. I was eating when I saw another flash of an invisible person walking past the kitchen door. This time I was paralyzed, as in I stopped chewing and now staring straight down at the table. These bastards are playing with me. My mom walks in, stops, sees my reaction, and again, I calmly say, "It just did it again, over there," pointing at the kitchen threshold. I tell my mom, something is playing with me, and I'm not imagining things. What really relieved me, but freaked me out at the same time, was her reply. "I know." Well, it relieved me because she believed me, but it freaked me out because she basically confirmed their existence. About 10 seconds later, we both heard someone walking down the stairs, wooden so the creaking can be heard, very slowly. I remember thinking to myself that it sounded as if their cover is blown and they're trying to sneak out. My mom and I both looked at each other, and once we heard it stop, she looked around the corner, down the stairs. Nothing. Dad had already left for work. What the actual hell? Yikes. And then story number 3. This person's had some experiences. This story is set in the Philippines, where I've heard many stories from my relatives about paranormal things happening in the house we stayed at. And this is something I've experienced myself. This happened in the second-story living room. This living room was huge. Tall ceiling, about 20 feet by 45 feet worth of room. And it was during Christmas time, and we had a tree set up in the middle of the room towards the north side. A large Jesus table? What the hell's a Jesus table? On the east side, positioned north to south. I don't know what that means, but whatever a Jesus table is, they had one. There was a television set up on the west side with a large green velvet couch about 15 feet in front of the TV, and another couch set sideways to the TV but backed up against a sliding door to the balcony. And there was enough room for someone to walk behind the couch to get to the screen doors to the balcony. Well, anyway, my Filipino cousins, I'm half Filipino, and I were gathered around the TV, and some of them on the floor, one on the back couch, and me on the couch by the sliding door. We're all watching either a game show or something overly bubbly. And at this time, it was getting late for us, maybe 10 p.m. or so. And here's where the realest stuff goes down. I'm sitting on the couch with my legs up, my legs up and one knee up. Remote is dangling on the backrest edge to my right, and I hear it drop behind me. So little me, being the ninja I am, slides over the top of the couch on my back like a bridge stretch for your back, with my face pressed up against the glass. I grab the remote, and from the corner of my eye, I see a little girl with black freaking hair. She had on a white dress and was looking down so I couldn't see her face. She was in a crawling position, backing up like she'd been caught and was trying to escape. She was backing up towards the middle of the room, towards the Christmas tree, and I was still upside down at this point when I managed to look over at her. She disappeared. I scuttled right back up and jumped. All my cousins looked at me like, what the hell? I then explained to them what I saw, and they started basically shaking their fingers, pointing at me, as if they know that I must have done something to see something. They were smiling, though, as if it's a normal thing. To this day, I still think that they were just messing with me with the whole "you got in trouble with the supernatural," but I know what I saw. I was always scared whenever I was in the Philippines, especially in that house. In the area we lived in, Betis, this house was like a mansion. It was opposite some basketball courts, in case anyone knows Betis. And anyway, if anyone ever goes to the Philippines, ask the locals for some supernatural stories. I'd imagine everyone there has experienced something, as all my Filipino relatives have, including our maids. One maid ran away once because of an encounter, and she came back, and I've met her before. She hates talking about it. Yeah, and in some cultures, it's not okay to talk about it, you know. I don't know. Like they feel that if they ignore it, it may go away, or at least you're not acknowledging it. You're not. I think in some cultures maybe the sharing of this kind of stuff empowers it, and maybe there's truth to that. Hell, I don't know. If that's the case, I'm absolutely screwed. But I'm just saying it could be. But I know that it's kind of like First Nations with the Skinwalker stories. Most often they won't discuss it. Most of them, especially old school ones, will not talk about it. In their idea is to talk about it, draws it to you. And that's kind of interesting because there's also an ideology in demonology, or at least in some Christian religion, or observations, that to name a demon is to summon it to you. So naming demons is very faux pas. And I err on the side of caution because that's definitely something I don't want to draw. But yeah, I think there is maybe truth to that. Maybe that creates some kind of an attraction or quantum entanglement or something to some of this weird stuff. I know that by virtue of doing this show, my life has had some pretty interesting experiences. I assume it's from doing the show. maybe it's something else. I don't know. But I do think the more you talk about this stuff, the more that you may create that magnetism or that energy. So I don't know how much longer this is. I think we'll read up to number 10, and then we'll go on to some cryptids. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, we'll read 9 and 10. The Rocking Chair Man is next. Number 9, my grandfather passed away just a few weeks after I was born. Never met the guy, never knew what he looked like. When I was 5 years old, I started to see this man in our rocking chair, and I called him the Rocking Chair Man. My parents thought it was just an imaginary friend kind of stage, but it started to bug them when I told them every single day. Well, they finally questioned me about it, and I told them every detail I could remember, and finally they showed me a picture of a man, and it was my grandfather. To this day, I'm now 22, and every time I dream, he's in the background somewhere. I remember when I dreamed about my high school graduation, and I looked in the stands, and I saw him with my parents. I like to think that he's just watching out for me and being there when he's not really there. Yeah, cool. Number 10, the teacher saying goodbye. I attended the same university for my bachelor's and my PhD, and there was a lovely woman by the name of Jennifer who was my reading in the content area instructor. Okay. I didn't know they have instructors for that. Okay. The guys all swooned over her. She was absolutely gorgeous. And I loved her because she read us The Giver out loud. She was an awesome instructor and was doing her PhD in literacy. Well, fast forward a few years, Jen had moved to South Carolina to teach literacy, and I'm now in my PhD program. And in the same grad student office that she used to work in with the other literacy people that were her colleagues. And then we got the news that she was murdered by her boyfriend. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Everyone is totally devastated. It was a huge blow to the department, as she was genuinely loved by everybody that knew her. So a few days after her funeral, her body was brought home. I'm in the office suite at school very early in the morning when nobody else was around. The grad students had a fishbowl office, 10 of us with group desks, within a larger office suite that was locked, and it had light motion sensors. Well, I'm walking in and past a locked door with windows, and I see a woman with short, dark hair walk the other way inside, which was weird because the lights didn't flicker on when she moved. So I walked around the corner to the door with the key code and let myself in. I walk inside and head to where I saw her. The lights flicker on when they sense me, but nobody's there. It's just me and the entire suite of empty offices. I swear to God it was her, saying goodbye to a place that she spent so many years and where she had so many friends. It spooked the hell out of me, but made me sad too. Aw. Yeah, I mean, maybe she was saying goodbye, like he says. That's tragic, though. Very, very tragic, unfortunately. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed those. I'll read more of those tomorrow night when we come back for Saturday's show. I hope I'm more prepared for that show than I am for tonight. I don't know. I'm just kind of flying by my seat of my pants tonight. I don't have Sheldon with me, too, and, I was really expecting him to be here, but unfortunately he couldn't be here because he's been having some severe migraines. So with that in mind, yeah, obviously he's got to take some time and feel better because that sucks. Migraines are the worst, and unfortunately that boy's had a lot of them in his lifetime. So hopefully he feels better soon. I'm a little bit raspy tonight too. All right. By the way, thanks, Wes, for posting my last podcast. I appreciate it when you do that. But let me refresh. I want to see if there's anything new on Sasquatch Chronicles blog as we're about to head into the Cryptid Corner. Brent, you're doing great. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, migraines are the worst, Chucky. You're right. Yeah, thank you, Barbara. Barbara says, poor kids. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Justin Goodearth talking about when I mentioned the demon thing. He said, you don't want to FAFO with demons without strong faith. Absolutely right. Yep. And Barbara is also talking about, I think it attracts when talking about. Yeah, I think so too. Yep. Or no, Sheldon, I hope you feel better. Yeah, thank you, Bogart. I'm and maybe he's watching, but poor kid just always deals with those migraines. I think he gets it from his mom. His mom actually has always had historically just lots of migraines. And it's heartbreaking when someone you care about is in pain. There's nothing you can do. Just try to make it easier on them. No stress. That's a big thing. This is I'm not sure to write this one up. Oh, this is the one you were talking about, Wes, when we were on the phone. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that one. That's really wild. Wes has got this new episode coming up in the coming week, I suppose, probably. But essentially, it sounds like it's going to be a great one. Now, even if you've never listened to Sasquatch Chronicles before, you'll know that Wes does cover a lot of different topics. It's not just always Bigfoot Sasquatch. He does a lot of different topics on the show. And this episode he's talking about, he was talking to me about it on the phone, and I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. It's going to be an incredible story. And I don't want to give too much of it away, but maybe I could just read this synopsis that he wrote up about it. I'll pull that up and we'll go over that. Here's one. Lake Earl Drive. Let's check that one out. I think maybe that one, that one will be it for a listener story. But I do want to read the synopsis for this upcoming episode because it sounds, and just talking to Wes about it, it was like, oh my God, really? That is incredible. But here you go. We're going to start out the cryptids in the Sasquatch Chronicles range, and then we're going to head over to Phantoms and Monsters. I know I got one story pulled up over there. Oh, here I am pushing buttons. Look, that's going to do anything. Yeah, because my buttons are screwed right now. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the cryptids. Jordan must be a little bit back in the show. Maybe he rewinded, came in a little late, and then caught it. But he's just watching the short that Wes put together with Dan and I getting the EVPs. Yeah, it was hilarious. Wes is incredibly humorous and has a great sense of humor. He's incredibly creative though too. Justin Goodearth, oh yeah, that's true. Thank you. Gave a $20 donation over there on Rumble. Thank you, brother. He said he's excited about the new structures found below the pyramids. I've been catching blurbs about that. Some of that new radar. They found those 8 pillars extending hundreds of meters below the ground and then ending in these huge, what are they, like 80-meter square boxes? I just don't know what the hell's going on under there. And then there's apparently more under that. So if you haven't been checking it out, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of the biggest buzz right now in the archaeological world and more. I mean, there's so many people talking about it, that this new deep penetrating radar, they tested it out on the pyramids and found these, not only like under the big middle pyramid in Giza, there are these huge pillars going hundreds of meters underground. And this is through bedrock and going all the way down with some kind of spiral corridors that go down too. And what they are, nobody knows, but it's a huge new discovery. And it definitely kind of, if this is indeed true, it for sure erases the whole, they made it out of, bronze tools. No, hell no. I mean, the granite from the King's Chamber, which is whatever is below under those pillars, looks like more of those King's Chambers kind of things, which probably were never actually a burial tomb, as was suggested. But yeah, free energy could be, Maggie. Yeah. I don't know, whatever they are, there's something amazing going on there. So, yeah, we'll have to wait for more news. We need to fund a Brent Thomas investigation of the pyramids. I don't know how the hell that's going to happen. That would be a pretty big fund. I don't think they'd let me down there anyway. I know you've got when you go over to Egypt, you've got to know somebody or have connections to somebody to get anything other than camel rides around the pyramids. I think anybody can get those, but then you're just, doing the whole touristy thing and that's it. But to actually get access, there you go. That's a whole nother level of monetary need. You got to know somebody and you got to pay them pretty handsomely in order to get special access. All right, so we're going to go to this Sasquatch Chronicles. This is the synopsis for the new episode that Wes has coming out. I'm just going to read this since he posted it. I don't have any clip or anything to play right now, but perhaps on tomorrow night's show. Upcoming guest, the house and homeowner that never existed. And even Wes says, I'm not sure how to write this one up. Spoke to the witness, and before we started the interview, he said, I have the creepiest paranormal encounter you've probably ever heard. 30 minutes later, I said, you were right. That is the creepiest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, no doubt. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Barbara matched the 20, said either investigating or a PC. Thank you. Both will be great. I mean, either way. Yeah, I definitely need the PC before the investigation, but thank you so much. That's so sweet. So let's hear what it says. A listener writes, hello, Wes. I've listened to your show for a couple of years now, and I was curious if you're still doing them. Yeah, I'm still doing them. I have had some strange encounters starting when I was a senior in high school in 1989, and I'm now in Western North Carolina, and after 4 years of a quiet life, I'm now having encounters with creatures in the Smoky Mountains and my home here that sits atop a mountain just outside of the Cherokee Indian reservations. I'd love to discuss some of these events with you and possibly share some of my stories on your show if possible. Please let me know if you are interested. I do have some pics and audio of some of my encounters as well. Yeah, it's going to be a great episode. So watch for that one, ladies and gentlemen, on Sasquatch Chronicles. And I again, I was just talking to Wes about this tonight, and it sounds amazing. Like it's kind of the kind of story that we only hear every once in a very, very great while. And even then, you never know. But this is the actual witness talking about experiencing it. So, and it's truly amazing. Truly amazing. So watch for that. That'll be coming out on Sasquatch Chronicles sometime in the near future. But it truly is one of the most profound paranormal stories that I've ever heard. So I know you're going to love it. All right, let's get to the next one. Sasquatch Chronicles blog. This one is from March 21st. Also, which is today old. Upcoming guest, Lake Earl Drive sighting. A listener writes, I was reminded of something that happened to me in late summer 2010. I dismissed it quickly because of how it affected me at the time. I was taking a friend home from town. We passed a barn that was on fire. The flames were very high and smoke was higher than the flames, and I watched the fire from his house, which was on the hillside above. I took a different route home to avoid getting in the way of the emergency vehicles. I think we just read this original email on the last show, but I'll read it still. I made a left turn onto Lake Earl Drive and saw something step away from a tall hedge. It stepped down into a ditch maybe 3 feet deep and 5 feet across, and it stepped down into the ditch with 1 foot and stepped up on the road with the other foot. Just before I saw this thing, I'd slowed down because I was amazed that the light from the fire was visible where I was 3 miles away. I stopped to watch the light reflecting off the clouds that had come in from the ocean when I noticed movement at the edge of the car headlights. When it was on the road on my left, and it turned and started walking in the opposite direction from me. I was driving slowly at that point, maybe 5 miles per hour. The thing covered so much ground with only a few steps. In one step, it was in the middle of another street that met up with Lake Earl Drive. At that point, it turned, and I'm not sure if it turned towards me or away from me, but that's when I saw it outlined in the light from the nearby house, and something just snapped in my head. I think I said something like, holy beep. Sorry, I had to beat myself. And then I pressed on the gas pedal, and I had this thought that it was coming after me, that it was going to climb into the back of my truck and reach through the back window. I thought it might even be chasing me, though I was going 50 miles per hour by that time. I kept saying out loud to myself, what the hell was that? And I was kind of screaming it and looking in my center mirror. I live 5 miles from the place where I saw this thing. I lived in the same woods that this thing had stepped out of. I didn't want to get out of my car even when I got home, but I didn't want to sit in the driveway alone in the dark either. I worked up my courage and got into the house. I told my husband, but he seemed convinced because of how I looked when he saw me step through the front door. I didn't see much detail except that it was big, had shaggy dark hair all over, its arms were unusually long, and it seemed to not even have a neck. I couldn't see its face, its hands, or feet. I can tell you it was not wearing any shoes or anything that even resembled clothing. Later, I made up a story that what I saw was a kid in a ghillie suit. As luck would have it, maybe a month later, I saw in the Safeway parking lot a kid wearing a ghillie pants. I knew right away that what I saw was not someone in a ghillie suit. I felt conflicted knowing this fact because I was left with the problem of trying to explain what it was to myself. I grew up in the forest. My siblings and I would have spent hours bushwhacking all over the hills. I've been up close to black bear, elk, and mountain lion. I've been within spitting distance of a shark and sea lions, and I've been held hostage by men with automatic weapons. This is one hell of a history, Jesus. And I've never felt that kind of threat to my life as I did that night from a thing on the side of the road, and I can't help but feel kind of stupid for what I felt that night. I think I felt stupid after I got home and decided to just explain it away. There was much of the experience that I've forgotten until I started listening to other people tell their stories and their sense of crushing fear. Hearing their reports, I realized that I knew what they were talking about. I've been a certified lifeguard with open water training. I've had wilderness first responder training, and I work with people who are suicidal. I consider myself to be cool-headed, especially in a crisis. I'm fearful, but for the most part, I can channel my fear into a coherent response. I've never experienced that kind of fear before. It is unexplainable all around. Thank you for giving me a forum to share this. I think I needed to confront this experience. Yikes. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I don't know when that one's going to be coming out either, but obviously a couple great episodes. And the thing is even though we were able to read their initial emails to us, there's always so much more comes out in the interviews. And it's interesting to hear people explain their own experiences because I can read them and try to bring them to life as much as I can by reading and trying to put emphasis on words, but there's nothing like hearing an experience or tell their story and to hear them relive that as they're verbalizing it. The emotion, the fear, sometimes people start breaking down. Sometimes it's a quake in their voice from reliving that terror. It's really powerful. I love it. And not because I'd love to hear people terrified, but we need, I love hearing the authenticity and the sincerity in their voice as they explain what they experience. So I think that's very cool. And it's always an honor when people decide to do that. So last night, I gave you a choice of two different stories, a lake monster story or a werewolf story. And there was mostly people wanting the lake monster because honestly, we don't cover a lot of those. But I told you tonight I would read you the werewolf story. So here you go. Now, it says werewolf, but that's because there's still a lot of people, even to this day, that don't really understand or are not really familiar with the term dogman. We hear it all the time here in the paranormal, supernatural Fortean circles. It's just part of our vernacular, if you will. But a lot of people out there just aren't really familiar with what the hell's a dogman. What is that? Never heard of that. Well, but if you say werewolf, everybody, oh, I know what that means. So people often describe their experiences because with terms that they can understand or that they know people will understand. So to say werewolf, everybody go, oh yeah, because at least you've seen, movies with werewolves or something like that. Go to sleep listening to Sasquatch Chronicles on Spotify. Wish the Rumble account was up to date. Oh, well, if Wes is listening, I guess he can work on that. Wes, time to update your Rumble. But anyway, let's get to this story. This is from Phantoms and Monsters Radio. Again, this is Lon Stricker's site. Lon's a great guy. He's been on the show, and got to get him on the show again. I say that every time. I sincerely mean it, because I do love talking to Lon. Got to get Wes on again, too. Got to get Wes to come on and do some Paranormal Portal with me. But Lon's got a lot of things going on over here on his site. There are so many encounter stories that you can be at it for weeks or months and still not hit every story he's posted. The guy is updating many times daily and always publishing stuff. So there's lots to see. Now, there's also, Lon is a published author. He's got several books that are out there you can check out. And those you can find out more on phantomsandmonsters.com. And as well as, Lon also has a podcast, and it's Phantoms and Monsters Radio. So if you're not familiar with that, Lon actually was live earlier tonight. I didn't get a chance to listen to him because I was on a phone call, but I generally listen to Lon as I'm prepping for my own show. And it's a good show. Lon does a great job, and it's really neat because he covers a lot of the material that he publishes on his site. And you get to hear it from him. A lot of times he's talked to these witnesses, and so you can get inside scoop on a lot of these stories. But let's check out this one. This is a werewolf in a cattle field terrifies West Texas witness. Oh, by the way, you can find Lon's podcast on all the podcast platforms, but you can also find it on YouTube for his live streams, and that's Phantoms and Monsters Radio on YouTube. So check it out. Excuse me. Had to give it a cough. Here we go, werewolf. I sped home, and I remember how terrified I was to get out of my car. I didn't have a garage clicker, and I knew it would take me forever to unlock the door. It hadn't followed me. All right, I received the following account. When I lived in West Texas, I had an experience with what I always call a werewolf. I was in college at the time, driving home about 11 p.m. from my job, and there was a huge cattle field behind the development where I lived, and sometimes preferred going the back way home because it was more scenic. I don't even recall if there was a full moon. I saw what looked like a cow by the fence and decided to scare it. Pulled over and started laying on my horn. I don't remember if I heard anything. I just remember what I saw. That thing got up, and it had to be over 7 feet tall. And I sat there staring at that thing, and it was staring at me before it took off running. I sped home, and I remember how terrified I was to get out of my car. I didn't have a garage clicker, and I knew it would take me forever to unlock the door. Well, it hadn't followed me, so I assumed it was okay. I don't remember how long it was after the incident, but I was running on my usual trail that snaked around the front of the development, and there was a huge cow laying in the dirt, clearly way too big to be related to coyotes or any other animal, and I always assumed anything that could kill and dismember a cow would have to be much larger. And that was the last time I experienced something that I related to that. We ended up moving not long after, but I still think of it. It's kind of a quick little blurb, but there you go. There you go. So I'm trying to understand. If they said it was a cow, but then something else got up by the cow, because the last part sounds like that they did see a cow laying down, but it was all torn up, and then this thing stood up. I don't know. I'm not really understanding what I just read there in that part, and that's just the way it was submitted to Lon. So, but it sounds like they saw a dead cow, thought it was just laying down, lay it on the horn, and then something else stood up that was 7 feet tall, and then took off. It's like, wow, I don't know, creepy. I don't know what you'd do. What would you do if you experienced that? What would you do? And I honestly don't know. Not really sure. It's 8:52. That's about it for tonight, isn't it? Jesus. I mean, we started a few minutes late, but not that much later. I just want to know if anyone has ever seen a wolf man or dog woman, or wolf woman or dog woman. They're always the males that get seen. A baby A baby worse, so has to be super cute. Oh yeah, a baby one probably would be pretty adorable. Maybe they're ugly babies. I don't know. I think I was an ugly baby, but I hope I turned out okay. But anyway, yeah, baby werewolf. That's a great question. I don't know, but then again, perhaps the physiology or taxonomy of them is similar to dogs. Like, you don't know if you're looking at a dog, whether you're looking at a male or a female, until you can see the junk or not the junk, as the case may be. So it's like, oh, that's a male dog. Or no, that must be a female dog. You can't really tell by looking at a dog. So oftentimes we think, well, it's a dog man. So, a man and a woman usually visually are pretty distinct, with the hips, with the waist, with potentially breasts. But if it's more canid than human, it's, human beings are one of the only animals that retain breasts that are, continually hold that fat, the fat that's there. Like even gorillas, when they're not actively nursing, their breasts go flat again. But when they're nursing, they become engorged because there's a production going on. But human beings are kind of unique in that regard because, as you ladies know, you've always got breasts. It's just not something that happens just because you've had offspring or you're nursing. You just always have them. So, yeah, unless they, let the dog, unless they've had puppies recently, that's the only time you can see that the teats are there. So maybe people have seen lots of female dog men, dog women, whatever. But they just wouldn't know the difference without being able to carefully examine the genitalia, which I'm pretty sure you don't want to get close enough to see whether there's junk in the trunk or not. Werewolf women need birthing hips. I don't know if they do, Phil. Hi, Mayor Jim Reeves. Good to see you. So maybe it's just not possible to tell whether you're seeing a dog man or a male dog man or a female dog man. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. So because like with dogs, and sometimes with dogs you can tell just because, like with wolves, the male wolves are generally bigger than the females, the alphas especially, but I don't know. It's anybody's guess, but that's just a thought. Who knows? But anyway, great question though. It's a great question. I really hadn't considered that until you said it. And that's me talking on the fly. I've never thought about that before. But I don't know about the birthing hips, Phil. Because I know, like female dogs don't have birthing hips versus the male dogs. But, they got that different build. I don't know. And puppies generally come out a lot smaller than human babies. Our human babies are pretty big. They're pretty big. So anyway. But yeah, interesting. Lon's encounter, one of my favorites. Carjuice says, yeah, Lon's got some great encounters himself. You're right. Lon's Bigfoot encounter is only a few miles from where I live. Oh, and close to where my encounter was, Cardew says. Okay. The Sykesville Monster. Yeah, that's intense. Yeah, Lon's got some great stories. And he's been actually doing a lot of looking into the winged humanoids, the Mothman stuff, but around the Great Lakes region. The Great Lakes, Illinois area has had a lot of sightings of creatures that are very much like the Mothman of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And many places have had claimed sightings of these Mothman things. There's reports of them appearing before a lot of disasters. The Twin Towers, there was apparently some claims that there was Mothman seeing before the Twin Towers came down. There was apparently a Mothman sighting before the Chernobyl meltdown. There was apparently a Mothman sighting in Minnesota prior to the I-35W bridge collapse in Minnesota. So I don't know. Are they potential harbingers, or is there something else going on? You be the judge. I really don't know. So very interesting though. But just some food for thought, as it were. So anyway, but that's about going to wrap it up for tonight, folks. I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared for tonight. I really do apologize. I had full intention of putting together a wonderful show for you. And I don't know how it all turned out. I'll have to watch it back later, but I hope it was okay tonight. Not my best work. I'll be the first to admit that, but I love every chance that I can to, come and join you guys. I did release a members only video of one of the more recent podcasts on video. So that's available to those of you on YouTube. I'm trying to give some value to you guys. I'll open it up for everybody in a few days, but I'm going to start premiering those for members of the YouTube channel because you guys have been with me for a long time and I haven't given you much to provide a lot of value for being a member. So I'm trying to. So if you're a member on YouTube, check it out. Kat Doherty says I watched it. Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, Kat. Kitty said I fell asleep. I'll see the show on the replay. Well, I hope you had a good sleep, though. Maybe you needed it. Great show. Thank you, Wizard. Again, I don't feel like it was a great show tonight, but I do love every chance I get to come and join you guys and talk about all this weird stuff. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate that. And tomorrow night I'll be back, and Tex will be here with me. Mr. Tex Weston himself. Maybe my buttons will work by then. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll look at my computer, do some restarting, and try to turn some things off that might be running in the background that I'm not really aware of. So, but just remember, love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. Always fun listening to your show. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. And lots of love to you all. Thank you for coming and being so supportive. And it's always a really magical feeling to start each show and to have so many of you coming in and being a part of the journey. It's just an incredible feeling. So thank you for that. Remember, the gear is out there. If you go to paranormalportal.dashery.com, I think that's what it was, paranormalportal.dashery.com. I know Maggie put the link in the chat earlier, so watch back if you've forgotten it. It was at the lead end of the show. But you can get a fine shirt like this. You can have one of your very own and be sporting the portal wherever you go. Or a hat. Ooh, almost tipped stuff over. You can have a Paranormal Portal hat. It's a dad hat. They call them dad hats. I guess that's because they're cloth all the way around. They don't have the mesh, but they got the trucker hats too. So you can have one or the other. Again, let me know what you think of that logo. Is that just too tiny? Is that too small? It's hard to see, I know, but is that too small? Or is that okay? Let me know if you get a chance. I'd love to see your comments or feedback about that. It feels like it's too small to me. Like I should redo it and make it taller. Maybe a little more compact, but taller. But anyway, I do appreciate any feedback you guys got. But I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Wherever you're watching now. Again, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, X, and Twitch. That's 5. Yeah, so we're streaming live wherever we are. Grateful Owl says, I wear trucker style hats. Well, you're welcome to get one. But no pressure. If you guys want it, there it is. It's out there. And if not, I completely understand. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to go kick my feet up for a little bit. It's been a busy day. But we'll see you tomorrow night. Take care. And until then, sweet dreams. Good night, everybody. Well, I was going to push the button. Can't do that. I got to do this manually. There it is.